Good morning. We're gathered here today to celebrate the life and career of Trooper Joseph Bullock. I would like to start by thanking the Honorable Governor Ron DeSantis, Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, Attorney General Ashley Moody, Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Petronas, Commissioner of Agriculture Nikki Freed, U.S. Senator Tom Wright, Taylor Sanchez representing Senator Marco Rubio's office, U.S. Representative Brian Mast, and our DHSMV Executive Director, Ms. Terry Rhodes. The many sheriffs, police chiefs, agency heads, elected officials, our public safety partners, and our friends for being here today to support the Bullock family and our FHP family. To those individuals who risked their lives to help Trooper Bullock last Wednesday, and you know who you are, thank you. The Martin County and St. Lucie County Sheriff's Offices played an instrumental role in providing assistance at the scene, as did the Martin County Fire Rescue Department, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and all of the first responders from the Treasure Coast who provided immediate and continuing support to the Florida Highway Patrol and to the Bullock family throughout this tragic ordeal. I again say thank you. I also want to thank the many citizens, local business owners, and the community as a whole for their prayers, support, and care as we grieve the loss of Joe. Words cannot describe how appreciative we are for the community display of love and support. I especially want to thank Pastor Randy Bazette and his exceptional staff at the Bayside Community Church for their hospitality and for allowing us to use this beautiful facility here today. We come together this morning to honor, remember, and celebrate the life of Joseph Bullock, the 49th Trooper to die in the line of duty. He was a son, a brother, a veteran, a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and a Florida State Trooper. As you know, Trooper Joseph Bullock was killed in the line of duty as a result of a felonious act on Interstate 95 in Martin County, Florida on February 5th, 2020. Joe was survived by his mother, Val, father, John, his two sisters, Jessica and Katie, and many extended family. To the entire Bullock family, our sincere condolences for the loss of your beloved Joe. Thank you for sharing him with us. Joe honorably served in the military as a senior airman in the United States Air Force from 1995 until 1999, and he was proud and honored to represent his country, which showed when he was chosen to carry the American flag at his basic training graduation. Joe was stationed in Minot, North Dakota, Saudi Arabia, and on the North-South Korean border. He loved being a part of the brotherhood and served his country with great pride and distinction. After his military service, Joe was accepted into the Florida Highway Patrol Academy. He was beyond excited because being a cop was his lifetime goal since the age of 5. He always wanted to be a cop like his father. He was a jail warden and a chief deputy with the Warren County Sheriff's Department in Pennsylvania. When Joe got accepted to the Florida Highway Patrol Academy, he was living out his dream. Joe was part of the Florida Highway Patrol's 99th recruit class, and upon his graduation, I can only imagine what a proud moment it had to be for Joe and the entire Bullock family, watching Joe's dad, John, pin on Joe's badge. After graduation from the academy, his first and only duty assignment was Troop L, Fort Pierce, a place he made his new home, remaining on the Treasure Coast for his entire 19-year career. We all know how much Joe loved being a Florida Highway Patrol trooper. Let me just share a few examples of what being a trooper meant to Joe. On one particular occasion, he assisted a disabled motorist a mom broken down, struggling with 2 young children. He transported them to a motel, paid for the room, and bought their food out of his own pocket so they could be off the highway and safe for the night. Numerous times he was known to help disabled motorists change tires on the side of the road. As a matter of fact, he went out and purchased his own floor jack and carried it in his patrol car because it was the quickest way to get the motorist off the highway and into a place of safety. Countless times he purchased gas cans and fuel with his own money, helping stranded motorists in need. That was the kind of man Joe was. Joe was also a field training officer for the patrol. In fact, I'm sure there's many of you here today that Joe trained, and you're benefiting from that training every day. Being a field training officer is one of the most demanding and important roles our troopers undertake. FTOs help mold our new troopers into embodying the long-standing professional law enforcement duties required to be a successful law enforcement officer. As each of our troopers know, with each traffic stop, there's an opportunity to educate a driver. Joe embraced that opportunity whenever he encountered drivers in need of traffic, safety problems, give them wisdom, and he rose to the challenge with the ability to deliver the safety message. His love for being a trooper and serving the public even showed in his 2 favorite sayings: "I got this," and "I got your 6." Joe was motivated by a sense of pride for his family, for his country, and for his need to give back and his need to pay it forward. As mentioned just a minute ago, his favorite sayings were, "You got this, and I got your 6." Well, Joe, in your selfless and honorable drive to represent your family, your state, and your country, you were the trooper all of us should strive to be. You did this, Joe, and you did it well. You had all of our 6s, your fellow troopers, fellow first responders, and the thousands of citizens you encountered throughout your career. Thank you. Thank you for working so hard to protect all of us. Many of you heard me say this before, but I feel it's important to remind you that as troopers, deputies, police officers, firefighters, and other public safety professionals, we all know the dangers associated with the careers we chose. Last Wednesday, when Joe reported for duty, he knew those dangers all too well, but that didn't stop him from trying to help someone in need. The very act our agency motto charges, courtesy, service, and protection, an act each of our troopers do on a daily basis, an act Trooper Bullock prided himself in delivering every time he encountered someone. Even though we have the best training possible, we all understand, no matter how well prepared we are, there's an inherent danger associated with the job we have dedicated our lives to. Yet we still choose to put on the bulletproof vest, strap on our gun belt, and leave the safety and comfort of our beloved families and homes to be ready and willing to give all to protect and serve the communities in which we live. Trooper Bullock did pay the ultimate sacrifice, doing exactly what he had done so proudly for nearly 2 decades on the Treasure Coast, attempting to help others in need. We live in a society that doesn't always appreciate the sacrifice our public safety professionals make on a daily basis. And we're quick to be scrutinized when we don't uphold the values to which we each swore an oath, and rightfully so. I challenge each and every one of you here today who works in public safety. When you put on your uniform, remember you're representing the profession in which we chose to serve. Think about the selfless and dedicated law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical service workers, and other first responders like Trooper Joe Bullock, who gave everything he had. He did it for his family, he did it for his state, and he did it for his country. He did it because it was something he had dreamt of doing since he was 5 years old. So remember, you're carrying on Joe's legacy. You're carrying on the legacies of all the first responders who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. You're representing your family, your state, and your country. just like Joe did. Joe demonstrated a high level of integrity throughout his life. I challenge you to strive to emulate him. Do the right things to ensure our profession remains one of the most noble and honorable professions in the world. When I think of Joe and all the others that gave their lives in the line of duty, I think of a passage from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 9. It says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." John, Val, Katie, Jessica, and Nicole, and all of the Bullock family, please know you will always be a part of the FHP family, and you will always be in our thoughts and prayers. We pray you find comfort in knowing there are so many who care and who will always cherish their memories of Joe. He will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, brother.